Have you ever tried to fix something and ended up being the one who breaks? It sounds dramatic, I know, but it's exactly what happened to this homeowner I heard about. They joined their HOA board thinking they could actually help, but instead, they got trapped in this absolute nightmare of water shutoffs, angry neighbors, and just nonstop stress. Honestly, this story is the perfect example of what HOA burnout looks like in the real world. So here's the deal. Back in 2021, this person bought a condo. They were so excited, new place, fresh start, everything seemed great. But then, the problems started. And I'm not talking small stuff. We're talking recurring water outages. Not the water is off for an hour kind of thing. No, this was happening over and over again. If you've ever lived in a building like that, you know how fast it gets old. You can't shower, you can't cook, you can't even use the bathroom. At first, they did what any of us would do. They complained, they asked questions, and they waited for the HOA to step up. But nothing changed. So they thought, okay, if the HOA isn't doing their job, maybe I should just do it myself. And that's when they made the decision that changed everything. They joined the board. At first, it felt right, like they were finally part of the solution. They were looking at budgets, calling vendors, getting quotes, really trying to organize the chaos. But then the hard truth hit. Fixing a broken HOA isn't like fixing a leaky faucet. It's like trying to rebuild a sinking ship while people are literally screaming at you from every direction. The board was stuck dealing with constant emergencies, maintenance piles, and zero money. So they did what boards have to do when a building is falling apart. They raised the dues. And you already know how that went. People were furious. Nobody wants to hear that their monthly payments are going up, even if the reason is we literally need this money to keep the building standing. The worst part? After all that effort, trying to be the responsible adult in the room, they didn't feel proud. They just felt drained, exhausted. They said it felt like they were constantly fighting fires and defending every single move they made. Eventually, they felt trapped, like they hadn't just bought a condo. They'd bought a full-time, high-stress job they never even applied for. That's when the regret really sank in. They actually admitted they wished they'd never bought into an HOA at all, not because they didn't care, but because the emotional weight of trying to fix it all was just destroying them. And the sad truth is, even when you're doing your absolute best, you still end up being the villain. Water shut off? Your fault. Repairs delayed? Your fault. Dues increased? Definitely your fault. It turned into something dark. They weren't just stressed anymore. They were miserable. So yeah, this isn't a story about some evil HOA board member. It's about someone who tried to help and got completely crushed by the system. Because sometimes, an HOA isn't just frustrating. It's a machine that burns people out, whether you're living there or trying to run the show. Honestly, after hearing that, would you ever even think about joining your HOA board?